5 meeting.
Go Troopers!
Where's Jill?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Am I doing this right?
Yes,
Okay.
I can hear you, iPhone
Okay.
674. Yep.
Just a PTA meeting?
Liz.
Yes.
Okay.
PTA.
Hey, Liz.
Yes.
Hi,
Oh,
Liz.
hi,
Hey,
Miss
Liz.
Murphy.
Hey,
Thank you
Liz.
for coming. Hi, everybody. All right, everybody's coming on.
Liz.
This
Well-
is Richard for Richard and Jill tonight.
Oh, how's Jill feeling?
Richard.
Good?
I don't know, but I assume well. She'll be making contact soon, we hope.
Fingers crossed for you. Fingers crossed. It was a shock. Yeah. So yeah, welcome everybody to the PTA meeting. And remember, as always, everyone is on the PTA. Every parent is on the PTA, not just the board members. Everyone's voice is valued here. We're happy that you have shown up. That's right? So we're already winning because we have a nice collection of parents here. We luckily have our lovely administrator. Woo, Miss Murphy's in the house. Thank you for being here. And I know, Lori, we had spoken about an icebreaker, so you were gonna kick us off with a fun icebreaker.
Oh, no, I misunderstood. I just came up with the idea, but I didn't want to do it. Yeah. So, like, if anyone
I could do an icebreaker because I don't think I know anybody here. So
Great.
Wait, are we muted or unmuted? Some people are muted and some people aren't muted.
well, you're not
Are we
muted. I
muting
can
or
hear
not muted?
that.
I'm not. But some people should I be?
I think it's whatever
Now you're muted. Now
is
you're
comfortable for you in your environment. Some environments are more conducive.
muted. I see 3 mutes and some rockets.
I think it's really about your environment. Yeah.
So for I'm not really in San Francisco, but I'm just messing around here. In one of my kids, the twins, has this. She's got a little, I guess, a YouTube show. I don't even know. So I'm doing that. So my kids, my name's Burt. This is my icebreaker idea, by the way.
Okay, great.
So those of you who are muted, I can't hear if you're agreeing, but I'll just assume you are. My name is Burt, and I have 2 kids in the school, the twins, Tina and Lenny. And Tina's in I think it's Miss Martin's 5th grade, and Lenny's in 3rd. Again, so that's me. So broken ice.
Awesome.
I don't know.
Great.
Yeah, this is the only background I had. I don't know. It's not my background. Okay, muting.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bert. I think actually, Bert, that's a great idea. I'm Liz Mick. Everyone just calls me the Mick. And as most of you know, I have 4 kids at the school, ranging from kindergarten through 5th, and happy to be leading this. And yeah, so why don't we just popcorn then? From there, we'll just how about I just throw it to Trina, Stubby.
Okay. No, Stubby.
Sorry.
It's like to be with a at the beginning. So hi, I'm Trina Stubby. I have 2 children at the school. I'm sorry, I'll look up their teacher's name. I have been informed that I am not an active parent, so here I am. I'm trying. Paige. I throw to Paige. I'm uncomfortable. I'm muting.
Oh, Paige, you're on mute.
Yeah, you're muted.
You're on mute. I'm so sorry. Can you guys hear me now?
Thumbs up.
Hi, I'm Paige Corbett. I have a 2nd grader named Sylvia, and we are new to this school this year. So there's a lot of things that I probably won't be familiar with. So forgive me because we haven't been here since pre-K, but we're just kind of getting our feet wet and getting to know everybody. And pleasure to be here. I'm just here to learn and see what's going on, and because I want to know what I need to know. I'll send it over to Cory.
I have a question first, though. How do you get those thumbs ups to go up like that?
Oh,
You go into react, which
Okay.
is a heart at the bottom of mine.
Okay.
This
I
is
don't know if it's
Are
the
Jill's
same
you
if you're on
on
the
a
computer.
phone? Well, I
No.
just want
No,
to be
I'm
those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Three
yeah,
dots.
go
It's the
to
three
the
dots.
three dots.
Chocolate
and
Oh,
bars.
then-
lipsticks,
Everything you
Lori.
want.
Is that
Yeah.
lipsticks?
I don't
Yeah.
have any three dots, but that's all right. I'm sure
Okay.
I don't
next
have
to
it.
the react.
Yeah, it might be harder on your phone.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll
Yeah.
get a computer then.
One of your kids should have a Chromebook you could use.
They
yeah,
don't let me use their computer. And
Yeah.
I don't want to, honestly. I don't want to know. Anyway.
wow. Cakes
Uh,
and
I didn't mean
dancers.
to
So-
interrupt. There's somebody else who's next. I'll just keep fiddling.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
mind
No,
me.
so I guess I'm Cory Stoke. My son Phineas is in third grade. I also have an older son, Elliot, who went to Mark Chan, and he's off at O'Neill Middle School now. And yeah, I've been I took over. I've been treasurer since then. And yeah, if someone wants the job of treasurer, it's um
I might be
better
interested in
reward.
that.
So okay, yeah, so that's something we can talk about. So let me throw it over. Who haven't we heard from yet? I don't think Lori. Yes, Lori, how are you?
Hi, great to see some familiar faces and some new ones. I'm Lori Crawl, and I'm secretary this year. Oh my gosh, I need everyone to in the chat if you can sign in. You can just put your name. You don't have to put anything else.
It's going to be hard.
But you can. And so I have a first grader, Lyle, and Shasta is in third. And we've just been so happy at the school, and I'm just really happy to be able to be on the board this year. So a little power hungry. Yeah. Did everyone go?
Oh, I don't think that I went.
Oh, Richard, I popcorn to Richard.
Hi, it's Richard Evans. You guys are probably used to seeing Jill, my wife Jill, and we're Nathan's parents. Nathan is in second, oh God, third grade. And we're just I am learning the ropes, and so you'll forgive you'll have some patience with me because I'm sort of we're all in a process of learning just like the kids. And so Jill is off learning about herself, which I think is so great. And we'll hear from her soon, I'm sure. And when we do, we'll get a lot of answers to a lot of questions. But I think for now, I'm kind of holding it all together. And so you let me know if there's anything that Jill did that I'm supposed to do, or that how this all works. But this is great. And and if anyone hears from Jill, if you hear from Jill and you have a message that she wants to get back to me or anything like that, you guys just let me know. And that would be great.
Which one was Jill?
Oh, Jill's my wife, brown hair, Jill Evans. She's Nathan's mom.
Yeah,
Got it.
and yeah, thank you, Richard. We're super happy here. I mean, Jill is supposed to be in charge of the carnival.
Okay, I can just
The carnival. Love that.
But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But
Okay.
Jill,
send me an email, J Evans. I'm on her Gmail right now.
Okay.
Great. Yeah. So we'll talk about that so we can make sure, because that's a
Okay.
big job.
She had brown hair. I remember that.
Yeah.
Didn't she give somebody a meeting once? I don't remember I don't pay attention. I haven't anyway. I'm muted. Sorry.
And then I think we haven't heard from Ms. Murphy.
Hi. First of all, thank you all so much for being here today. I was really moved by what Richard said about, the parenting journey and your growth as people through this process. So the fact that you're here for your families and children is really amazing. Most of you know me. For those of you who don't, I've been here at MC Elementary for, gosh, I think it's now 5 years. This is my first year with a PhD. So I
Woo
am
woo.
just so I've been so welcomed to this school, and now, for those of you with fifth graders, I'm like a fifth grader with you. So anyway, this meeting is not for me. I'm here to support, to answer any questions, and to give a few updates. But this is really about you taking ownership of you being parents. So thanks
Do you
again.
get a raise with a PhD?
I do, yes.
Okay. Does the treasurer know
Great.
this?
Oh, so the finances for this are fully separated from my
So we don't have
compensation.
anything to do with paying. Okay. I'm less
Not
interested
well.
in the
I mean, if you're a
treasurer thing then.
taxpayer,
Forget it then. Okay, great. Good to know. I'm removing myself from the treasurer thing now then. Because what's the
Okay.
money for? If not
Yeah.
the teachers.
Well, actually, that's a great segue because next, actually, on our agenda is the treasurer's report.
Okay.
So Cory, do you want to go ahead and share your
Yeah,
screen?
why don't I
And
go ahead
then
and says sharing's not turned on. Can you make me host, Liz?
uh
Can you make me host?
Glad
hold
I'm not
on.
the
I
only
think
one
you
who
can
doesn't know how to
now,
use this
yeah,
stuff.
now yeah, so now
Can you
you
make
should
me
be able to
okay.
share.
Okay, yeah. I got it. So yes, for Burt or anyone who
Not me anymore.
who's curious about
What
sort of
happened? Oh,
if you will, what we do here, or what we do at the PTA. We are one of our key roles is raising funds to support the mission of Ms. Murphy and the teachers. And so this is just a quick spreadsheet of receivables and expenses this year so far. And yeah,
it's
obviously,
so small on my screen. Can you make it bigger?
um, I honestly, I'm not sure if I can, Bert.
I think it's
Wow.
because you're
Okay.
on your phone.
You are on your
Well, it's
phone.
definitely because I'm on my phone,
You
but
might
it
be
can
able to
still be
zoom.
bigger. Oh,
Yeah.
I can do it. I can do it. Look at that. I
Yeah.
made it bigger myself. Sorry. Oh, no.
Okay. I mean,
Okay.
let me see. Does that affect anything? Does that affect stuff?
For me, it doesn't. I
Oh
mean, I
yeah,
can
that
see
got
it.
bigger.
That
That
was
got
a
bigger.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. If
Okay.
only we could make the
It's
numbers
no, if
bigger,
it's a
right?
little aggressive now.
Oh, is it too big? I could do
Okay.
it myself.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, now it's more than the
A
whole
lot.
screen for me.
There's-
So
Okay.
I'll just go through some of the highlights of the year so far, and specifically what's happened over the past um, couple of the past couple of months since our last meeting, because it was January, February. There was a lot going on. We didn't really have a good meeting, but as you can see, so far our biggest line item from the receivables was that grant from the NEA right at the beginning of the year for the finger paint project. A lot of that money went right back into finger paints. So a lot of that was
$3,000 for finger paints?
well, it was part of the whole project. Yeah.
Do you allocate the funds yourself as the treasurer?
This
Because
is
I might be
as a
interested again.
board, we try to
How much influence do you have personally?
attribute the money as we have. At the end of the day, I write the checks, which we
Okay.
still do have a formal checkbook.
I still use checks. That's fine. I still use checks too. I'm back
Yeah.
interested.
And you need a double signing, though. I will say that you do need two people to sign checks
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
from the
Okay.
PTA so that there is a check and balance.
I can
exactly.
do that. I can do that.
That's
If,
it.
if someone else has done a lot of the work, I can sign things.
Yeah, you have to be
Yeah, I'm
registered with the
interested
bank as an
in being one of
officer,
those signatures, actually.
and yeah, it.
Do you have a veto in any way? Like, let's say, for
Yeah.
example, you had a thought in your mind, like, for example, like Jesus Christ, $3,000 for finger paint? That
Well,
seems excessive.
and
I'm going
again,
to veto this. Could you do
to
that?
to be clear though, Bert, this was on the receivable side. This was an NEA grant sent to us for a finger
For
paint
finger
project.
paint? The
Yeah,
NEA? All
yeah.
right.
Yeah, so I mean, and we did have to, obviously we had
I'm
a
staying
duty
for
to spend
treasurer,
most of
but
that money on the supplies
okay.
for that.
You had to do that. It had to be for finger paints.
Well, if the money came in for the finger paint project, we need to furnish a finger paint project. Yeah.
I mean, how much finger paint is
Yeah.
3,000 to ask? I don't mean to disrupt the meeting. I mean, there's a lot of things it looks on here that I have questions on,
Yeah.
but okay, we could. You know what? Do you want to table that?
Yeah,
I'm
I
going to
think maybe
restore
for right
my
now, because
judgment.
there's a number, we'll
Okay,
get into the
that's just a
expenses
awful lot of money.
in a minute. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm asking for treasurer.
You're right. But that amount came into the school is more than the family giving and even almost more than the family giving and the fall dues drive together. And those were two of our biggest fundraising pushes over the first half of the year. You'll see the bake sales, the pie sales, the merch sales weren't there was that one in December we only sold the one beer koozie, and that was at cost, so that was a disappointment. And then we had a minor issue just last month with that Valentine's flower delivery, in that I'm not sure we'll need to reshape that going forward for next year, because there was some contentious behavior between some of the kids around that. So that
Was
that
that part of
is
the friendships destroyed? It says.
yes.
What
Yeah,
was that
there
part of
was
the
some
plan?
jealousy that came up, and
But that was a symptom. This was not something you went in planning for, right?
obviously not. Yeah,
Oh, it's
obviously.
written on there as if that's like it's like an access, like a bill. Like, oh, here's
Yeah.
this amount for that. You should take that off.
I
I
just
would
put
take
notes
that off.
in so we can revisit this next year and see,
As
what
potential
worked and
future
what didn't.
treasurer, I bequest. I'm not sure that maybe you take that part out.
Okay, I just
If
want
I
us to
become
remember
treasurer, I'm just
this
saying I'm going to go back and do that.
Well, I'll
for
say
next
Just
that
year.
do
if
it now.
any adjustments need to be put on the table and then seconded,
Yeah,
and then a vote would need to
Oh,
occur
oh
exactly.
my God.
Sure,
in
Okay.
order to
sure.
amend these documents.
Okay.
So
You know what? I never paid this much attention, and okay.
I mean,
yeah,
I will say for those of us with fifth graders, the flowers was a very serious issue.
yeah.
I didn't hear about it at my house. Anybody
Well,
else hear about it at their house?
some kids got more than others. Some kids got more than others.
Well, yeah,
Isn't that kind of
Valentine's Day.
life? Isn't that kind of life though?
The hot kids get more flowers. That's,
It is. You're right. It's life. And I guess friendships end all the time.
I just wanted to take a
all
second
the time.
to
Yeah.
just say, like, it's just so wonderful to have new faces and new voices. And I was thinking, I remember my first PTA meeting, or like my first PTA meeting where I was really paying attention, and I was really overwhelmed because there was so much I didn't understand. And what I found is if I just like allowed the information to wash over me, I found that to be really effective. And then I was able to, address things more specifically once I had more of a context. So
That's probably great advice, Lori.
Who was that for?
That's
no,
that's
no,
great.
I just wanted to acknowledge, I know it
I
can be a
thought I was
lot,
muted.
more.
Sorry. Okay.
So year to date so far, we've brought in $14,169.09. And so I'll just tab
Nice.
over to the expenses this year. And as you can see, we spent a little more than I think we were intending to for that live turkey situation from Arnold's Farm for Thanksgiving, because we did have to pay extra for them to come back the next day in an emergency capacity to remove that. And then, of course, to Cleanworks. Our other biggest expense So far, well, there was the merchandise purchase for our merch sales, but that was back in September. But as you can see, that was 3,800, and so we've got plenty of t-shirts and beer koozies to sell. Um, so that's definitely something we need to look for opportunities to do that. And I think potentially there's a lesson to be learned about how much coffee boxes how much we're spending on coffee boxes for our in-person meetings, um, because they're not getting the attendance that they did, pre-COVID, for instance. So yeah, so total we've
Can we
spent
order
10,000.
Dunkin'? Can we order coffee like DoorDash and charge it to the school if it's during a meeting?
Well, I mean the
I haven't done
PTA.
this, but because at the meetings at the school, there's always the coffee. So now what I'm realizing is that if I want coffee for this meeting, I can't get it like
Oh,
at the
for
school.
this meeting, that's something to talk about maybe as a member of the board. Um, that's
If I
something
become
that we
treasurer,
could
I
talk
can
about
bring
is
that
if
up.
we're Zooming, we could get coffee delivered.
Okay, I'm way in for this treasurer thing. When are you leaving?
Well, I'm looking for someone that I can teach the ropes. Yeah.
Well, I don't need to be taught. I just like I think I can handle it. I can see this.
Yeah.
I will.
Well, you know
I
what?
want to
I would need
acknowledge that
somebody to
Lori
do
has
this.
used the hand emoji to raise her hand. So Lori, would you like to
Oh,
chime in?
that's another thing. Okay.
Kind of, yeah. Great work as always, Cory. I'm not sure if I'm seeing all the way to the right screen right of your
Oh,
spreadsheet. Um,
gotcha.
I'm gonna I just want to say we have
Oh,
replaced
good.
crayons for room 307 on multiple occasions for
Hmm.
this reason. And there is a disconnect. This is a science classroom, and I don't understand how we're not thinking critically about the fact that the crayons keep. These are expensive crayons. These are $543 worth of crayons.
Yeah.
And I just like there's so many things I'd rather us be spending that money on.
I do think I can speak to that in my section when it comes up, if we can perhaps just
I
note
would love
that.
to. Okay. I would love to hear. Thank you.
So many crayons and finger paints.
Well, I mean, in fairness, we are an elementary school, right? And those
Yeah.
fine motor skills become
It's a lot
super
of money.
important.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
You,
Um, I oh wow. Richard, I'm glad that you just tested for COVID.
did
Um,
we have to for this meeting? Because it's remote. Are they
no,
still doing that?
I mean, I'm assuming Richard, you're not feeling well, or
I got a note in the chat there about blowing my nose. I'm going through some sadness, which could account
Mm.
for that.
So what? Okay.
I'm
Does
sorry about that,
COVID cause
Richard.
sadness?
I think it's just different.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm so
think what Richard's
sorry. I
saying.
was trying to keep this off, like as you guys were talking about crayons or whatever. I just noticed that Richard kept blowing his nose, and Nathan and Sylvia, I believe, are in the same section now. And so I'm going to see my mother this weekend, and got concerned that Sylvia would get sick, and I didn't want to take that to my mom's house. So I just was checking in on Richard, and I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
Back to the crayons, back to the crayons.
no, I think Paige also brings up a really strong point, that we do need to encourage all of our children, to keep safe and not touch each other and not touch their face and then touch others. Um, I will say hand, foot, and mouth, everybody.
Right.
Hand, foot, and mouth.
Yeah.
Right. And Trina, yes. Should have been a private thing, and I thought I did do the drop down thing, and I didn't mean to send it to the whole group.
Like
But
I
also I
said,
was
nobody
like,
knows how to use this thing. I feel so much
I
better
know.
knowing
But I was also
nobody's
kind of like, if
doing
I'm seeing
anything.
Richard blow his nose, then probably everybody's seeing Richard blow his nose. So I was like, maybe everybody would like to know if Richard's sick. You know what I mean? So Next
I
time,
didn't even notice, honestly, but I'm glad to know that he's not sick. But I'm still unclear. It's not the COVID and the sadness or not. There's no connection with that.
Yeah, they're not
Okay.
connected.
Okay. So
back
I
to the
heard about
crayon.
the brain fog and stuff.
Uh,
Yeah.
yes, Trina, I think sharing, yes, that you don't typically do drop off. I get that. You know, that is a big moment of connection for a lot of us when we see each other there. But you're here, so we get to see you here, which is yay, a victory. See, so knock that feedback that you're not an involved parent. Here you go. Um, Great. And so I'm going to turn it over to Miss Murphy because I know you said you would address the crayon.
Yeah, so as you all know, we've been having an issue with our outdoor classroom, which is right up against the classroom that has this crayon shortage. We discovered that we had had a raccoon infestation throughout the outdoor classroom and our peace garden. So this has been, for those just attending for the first time today, this has been an ongoing concern, but we are very, very happy to
I'm
announce
so sorry to
that we
interrupt,
have,
Dr.
yes, I'm
Murphy.
sorry.
I'm so sorry to
Yes,
interrupt. I'm
Yeah.
seeing
yes.
something on the screen that is not related to what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Oh gosh. I'm not sharing my screen. I'm sorry. Mac, uh, is this, whose screen is
I'm
this?
sorry. Oh, um, I
Liz,
I
can
What's
think
up?
you,
Richard,
I
you
mean,
might
I
have
think we all
You know
know.
what? I think
I think we all
somehow
know.
you
I
might
think
need
it's
to claim
Richard.
I
host.
can pinch out for a bigger view.
uh,
Is
Liz,
it
this is
A's
not my
you
from
can,
screen.
87?
I just want everyone to know that this
No,
is not my
I
screen. It
know,
looks like
Dr.
it's
yeah, I
Murphy.
being
Just
think
shared by
remove
I mean,
Richard.
raise your
Richard,
hand
this
if
is
you're
your
not sharing your
screen.
screen. Raise your hand if you're not
Richard, I
sharing your
think
I,
this is
screen.
you.
Richard,
This
I
is
think this is
you
your
know,
screen.
I'm
Excellent.
sorry, what's the problem?
If
at
you
the top
scroll
of
to the
this,
top,
you're
it
sharing
says
your screen.
Jesus in there. That's church. So get
Also,
that
there's a lot
down.
of
I think it's
studies that show that
so
multitasking is ineffective.
you know
So,
what? While Richard's figuring this out, I'm going to continue because I think this is a
Yeah.
big win for us.
I'm not
With the
sharing my
rec to
screen.
Nope, it's
you're
all
you're
done.
you're okay.
Great.
You're all good. Yeah. So we got on top of the raccoons. We have a first grade father who owns JJ Exterminators. He was
I know
able
that
to
guy.
finally get that last raccoon out. Took it with him on his winter break down to the Poconos, and now it's gone. So we don't think it will return like it had for the past 4 weeks, and
Oh,
that
it
should
won't
solve the
return.
crayon.
That guy eats those. He didn't bring it down to Boca Raton or whatever. I know that guy,
Oh,
JJ.
well, I hope not because
It won't
he,
be back. Trust me.
okay. The other news I did have to announce, and for those of you who have third grade students, you already know this. Unfortunately, our Chromebooks have all had to be locked up for the week, hopefully not too much longer. We had a very smart third grader do an update that put AI features on all of the reader applications.
Hmm.
So it
Not my
impacted
kid.
all of the third grade. Luckily, we didn't have too many children see it to take advantage of it, but we did have to lock them all up because we weren't able to revert back the update. So we're on the phone with readers headquarters to hopefully get on top of that before we get into testing season.
I
That is
am.
the
I'm
update
sorry.
there.
That's one of mine. That's on me.
Smart
So
kid.
I
I
wasn't,
I'll
think
tell
that
you
was
what.
just
you don't
somebody
have to
needed
admit
some
that.
attention.
My kid's
Uh,
too dumb to figure
so
that
that's
out. So
on me.
congrats.
That's one of mine.
You're
Yeah,
doing a good job.
we don't need to name names, and in fact,
I
it
will.
probably
It's
is
one of mine.
better.
I
I don't
name them.
know. I don't even know your kid's name, so I'm happy to keep it
Sometimes
that
I
way.
don't know if I do.
I
We're
mean, I
gonna
Liz, do
wanted
need.
you
to
have a
follow up
question?
on that because
That's
I
Yeah.
solid
actually
shit.
got a lot of private messages in WhatsApp about this actually,
Hmm.
wondering if there were consequences and sort of what the school is doing, what sort of consequences are for a very
Yeah,
disruptive
What's that?
situation.
for a third grader to actually be able to figure something like this out is quite an advanced skill. So we actually ended up putting this child, we're going to fast track him into a more advanced program
It was
because we
Keel.
actually
You can just name
see,
him. It was Keel.
Yeah, okay. I would really prefer to, anyway, this child, let's say if it were Keel, we're actually looking at placing them maybe into a fourth or fifth grade program for reading because clearly he
That's what
was
Tina did.
able
She
to
went
to
up
see.
one. She
But
doesn't do the computer stuff, but
when we find children at their grade level, we tend to see behaviors like this start to decrease by 40 to 50%. So
like when the government gets hacked and they catch the hacker, they put that hacker to work for them. They may have to pay off their debt for 3, 4, 5 years, but they're doing it for the government. School ought to do the same thing. This kid seems like they got some real skills. You ought to get that kid because your website is shit, honestly. I bet you, what's your kid's name? Tommy? It's next to your thing. I'm looking. Oh, your kid, Keel? Kyle?
Keel. It's Keel.
Get that kid on the computer thing and redo the website for the school. That's what I think.
I mean, that could be,
make them work it off.
To work it off or something.
Like the government does.
The school board really takes control of all of our websites, so that would be a real advanced placement. But we can look at that, just as a
they're not doing a very good job.
We can take that offline or something.
Okay.
I mean, that kid should definitely have Miss Martin's when the time comes because we know she loves those advanced kids.
Yeah.
Tina's in that class, but she's
so those.
Can I ask a question that felt like a kind of a funny what's up with that teacher? Is she does she have kids that are smarter or?
All the smart kids go into Miss Martin's class.
I'm just gonna interject here. All of our students, all of our teachers are placed at grade level. There's been rumors in the past of certain teachers maybe being more suited for advanced students and some teachers may be more suited for less advanced students. I want to make clear that is absolutely not how classroom placement goes. It's a very complicated process. I would just love for you to see me sweating away in my house with Post-it notes and, envelopes and really making it work, but it's absolutely not based on the teacher's previous experience teaching gifted children.
Why don't you just do it alphabetically?
She was
I'll just put
really
it this
the
way.
gifted teacher.
Elliot, my older son Elliot, had Ms. Martin's, and now he goes to O'Neill.
Wow.
Okay. So how do we request who we want? For this year's done and done, but for next year, is there a way to kind of just be like, hey, I've noticed this about my child and they seem to be thriving in these ways and I want them to, if it feels like a match with the teacher, can we request that?
We don't typically take requests. There are rare circumstances where siblings may, because of longstanding relationships with the teacher, may find comfort with the teacher in the future. But beyond that, we really can't request because, I have 200 students per grade level here. So it would be really very, very difficult for us to try to do that kind of matching.
Okay.
I don't know. Tina says
how does diversity
in her class with Ms. Martin?
How does diversity factor into the decision-making process?
That's a great question. Yeah, we did have a year before I started here. This wasn't me, but I had heard about this, where we had a classroom of primarily boys. It was almost all boys and one girl. And that was a very, very that was a very hard year for Mrs. Luce. So we do factor that in. That's part of the reason this is such a complicated feature. And we look at all areas of diversity, not just gender, not just race. We look at religion, we look at all elements, all
Wait
different,
a minute. You're not
long hair, short hair.
I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to do anything with religion. That's all I'm saying. I'm not even saying I have a religion or don't or do. I'm not saying
Nathan may in the next several years have a black cousin. If things continue to go how they seem to be going with my sister's relationship,
they would be absolutely welcomed.
Oh no, I mean just for no, they're not even. They don't live in the state. I'm saying the for Nathan to be from a mixed race family, is that a consideration?
That's not that's that child that doesn't exist has nothing to do with your child.
They're part of my family.
They could be like brothers. Some cousins are like brothers. Sometimes
The
you don't
child
know what
doesn't
relationship.
exist.
You don't know what
I'll just-
relationship they're going to have, though.
It's just saying there's
I'll
mixed
just say
race
this.
in the family.
If anybody who moves into our community can come to school, and so if they are here, we will find a home for them. We are stormtroopers through and through, and no matter who you are here with
Unless
us.
you're a child molester, they cannot go anywhere near the schools. And you can find those folks on the websites too. You can find out where they live in the neighborhoods. But
Ms. Murphy was talking about kids coming to the school, students, potential students.
Yes.
well, you never know.
Thank you, Cory.
Somebody could do like a reverse 21 Jump Street, but for bad purposes.
Well, I think
Okay.
those are all my updates. Yeah. So if we want to move on to our final next few agenda items.
Thank you so much. I'm so thrilled to hear about the raccoon. Though
That ain't coming back.
the kids loved it. Outside of the whole, it was really fun to have rabies conversations. Really fun. Love that. So next up is actually approving the minutes. So Lori, you have the minutes from last month?
Yeah. So, long story short, there was a QR code for everyone because I'm not going to print, right? Just print all the copies. So, there was a QR code. There was an email that went out. Is this ringing any bells for anyone? No one got that. Crap. Okay.
Jill may have gotten that.
I may have gotten it, and I ignore all the emails.
Oh,
I find it so hard to open a QR code if I'm answering, if I'm looking at the email on my phone already,
Right.
because I can't take a picture of the front of my phone.
Right.
A screenshot
And it's my
doesn't work
camera.
either.
Yeah.
I've
No,
tried
this is
that.
good feedback. Yeah. So
I need like a network of
I'll
mirrors.
switch it up for next time. So I'll just give you sort of like a recap of what was in the minutes, and we can
Right.
just approve my recap if that's okay.
Love it.
What were you going to do otherwise?
What's that?
What were you going to do otherwise? I don't see
I
otherwise what you were
actually
gonna
had
do.
the minutes. Minutes is like a summary of the previous.
Right, and you're going to tell us what it was, right?
Well, I had it printed to show you. I mean, I didn't print it.
Well, why
I
don't you
had a
share your
QR
screen like the other guy, like Cory?
I
did
don't-
there.
No, I did it on my work computer, and I don't have that with me.
Okay. Well, just then say the stuff then.
Okay, so the meeting was called to order at 8:36 p.m. You know what? Can we just maybe table this, or can we
Like,
vote
just
it
we'll
in?
just approve it. Like last month
Let's just
happened.
approve it. Let's just
right?
approve it. It's fine.
Everybody just give a yay if we approve
Yeah.
the minutes. Yeah.
Right.
And I realized I didn't call the meeting to order this time, Lori. I forgot.
So we're
Does this
both
even count?
really
We're doing good.
Yeah.
There we go.
We can't start over because I'm meeting some guys.
You're not able to share?
Me?
There's nothing to share.
No, I don't have it. Oh.
Your other computer.
No.
Oh,
Is
no,
that you
Richard,
guys
no,
sharing
it's
that?
no.
I
You're
think you
sharing
just
screen.
go and you hit down
Got it.
share
Let me see.
screen.
Got
That
it.
really, it should really just be the host able to share, or someone that she.
No, I think anyone can. I think you just go to the
Right now.
very bottom. Do you see share at the very bottom
Yeah,
there, Lori?
yeah. I just don't
Hey,
have the thing to
Richard.
share.
Right. It was
Oh,
on your
I
work
see.
computer, right?
It's on my work
Richard.
computer, and I
I
only
see.
work Tuesdays and Thursdays. So
Because you can, on that bottom bar, even if it's a QR code and you share that, then I can scan that like a
yeah,
menu.
I don't have it. I don't have it here. I sent it out before I left work Thursday. and-
Yeah. That's great. All good. So, in the interest of just moving on,
Yeah.
yeah,
Send back
I'm
those.
gonna just bring to the next thing first. Sort of the president's report. First, I just want to give a huge shout out. For the hot chocolate that was brought in as a nice little treat for our amazing staff. That was really generous. I'm curious as to who that was. Because
You have hot chocolate now? Does everybody have hot chocolate?
somebody brought in hot chocolate for the staff.
Oh, the school, not at all our houses for this meeting.
No. And
again,
not for the kids, thank God.
I'm looking to, DoorDash some Starbucks or something if I can, and then charge it to the school because of the coffee situation.
Well, we don't have that much money, as you could tell from Cory's report.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, Cory, what are you doing? I mean,
you know what,
is there
fine.
another set of books?
I just
What we
felt
raised. It's what we raised.
shitty. I'm sorry. I swore about the whole thing with Keel, who just frankly, I think needed some attention. And so I was trying to just buy my way. So there you go.
Trina, yay!
Oh.
Stubby,
Coco.
Stubby hot chocolate.
I will say that the teachers will really, they've been just over the moon. So now that they know, it will be,
Well,
yeah, it'll be,
okay.
you'll get a lot of things in the halls.
Okay.
I may still reach out to Jill's mom and see if it was her as just a.
That's fair.
Richard, it wasn't her.
You know what? Let's give it to Richard. He needs it. I'm fine.
I just want to
just say it with Jill.
You're kind of saying that if we send hot chocolate and stuff, it sounded to me like you were almost like looking for more, like kind of asking for a bribe a little bit.
Well, not a bribe, but I will say there's a delicate balance that we have here. We need to keep our teachers happy, excited,
not everybody
eager to come to work every day.
So that their kid has better grades or because their kid screwed up or something like that.
Absolutely no grades are affected when it comes to these kind of things.
Everybody, every time Lenny screwed up, there'd be no hot chocolate in the world left. So
the most you're bribing these teachers is to put a smile on their face. And a happy teacher goes much farther than a sad teacher.
Well, say no more. It's all in the recording. That's fine. It's fine. Just move along.
Also, it is cold in that building. That's what I have heard, is that it's very cold in there. So
yeah, I always send the kids with layers. I don't know if you all do too, because
yes,
they have to have a sweatshirt,
a sweater, a hoodie.
I mean, it's not cold in room 307, but that's just because the effect of the sun coming in through the windows.
Yeah.
Right.
You could just harness them.
More windows maybe then.
Yeah, and that, I mean, it gets very, very hot, as we know, in room 307.
Did we approve the minutes?
Hot enough to melt wax.
I think we did.
Yeah.
I'll get those out to everybody.
Yeah. Minutes approved.
This is the part before I go into our next big event, which is the book fair. This is the part where we do a shout out. So I thought we could do another quick popcorn whip around. Just shout out something great that you've experienced at the school lately, or your kid has experienced lately. So I'm gonna start with you, Cory. Just give us a shout out of something that's been going well.
Phineas finished his Lenape project, and the big share that happened after the Lenape project, I thought was really, really impressive. Phineas and Maeve made succotash, and we got to have succotash, and then got to try some of the paddle sports and things that the Lenape did, and I was really, really impressed with all the kids' projects.
Great. You want to popcorn it to someone else?
Yeah, oh yeah, sure. Trina, tell me.
I need more time.
Okay. Yeah.
Lori,
hey, I don't know if everyone got to see the Lenape project. Richard, did you get that chance?
I didn't see the project. Jill may have. I'll reach out to her mom and see if that's something that she saw.
That's right. I'm so sorry. I forgot. Yeah, Jill was there. Yeah.
But
we loved it.
Yeah. No, Nathan did project on YouTubers and researched, and he's been doing a lot of that all weekend. Looking at different YouTubers.
A YouTube channel. That's why I got this thing here behind me.
Yeah.
If you needed any help. I don't know if they're
Okay.
friends.
Yeah, that would be good to know because we're on, he's on Jill's computer and doing all the YouTube.
Well, he's in 3rd grade, so it wouldn't be my YouTube kid. It'd be the dumb one who is. So that kid can't help him at all. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm just, but yeah, I mean, there's some funny stuff out there on YouTube. I don't know if it's all appropriate, but they're going to learn everything anyway, is my philosophy.
You can put a thing on it, a blocker.
Yeah. Oh, you can?
I didn't, but people can.
I think they're gonna see everything. They're gonna end up seeing everything.
Well, yeah, eventually they will, but you could probably, stave some of that stuff off till they're teens or something. If you,
sometimes you don't know.
It's like a YouTube.
Let's keep it on the shout outs. Let's keep it on the shout outs.
Yeah,
there being boobs in Starship Troopers.
I'm pretty sure.
That.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying I didn't remember that. I thought that was like a fun movie for kids. And then all of a sudden
it's really kind of a dystopian version of a militaristic society that kind of becomes fascistic.
But I don't want to shame him the minute boobs come on the screen. So once he's seen it, I figure we'll watch the rest.
I don't think you should do that. I think if he sees boobs, you should be like,
shout out. I have a shout out.
Great, thank you. Yes, Lori, shout it out.
Yeah. I just had a wonderful experience. I was coming to water the garden beds. I try to do that when I have the time. And I saw our maintenance worker, Mr. Ricky, just, cleaning up after lunch, just the huge mess of everything. And I watched Miss Sampson's 2nd graders come out and help Mr. Ricky clean up all the trash. And it was just a really sweet thing. I'm just a little distracted. I'm sorry. Okay. Never mind. Yeah, so I just want to say that was really nice. I love seeing our kids being good citizens of the world.
That's good. That's good.
Maybe we could get rid of the janitor and just have the kids clean up.
Trina.
I mean, we could.
Everybody's shoes came home. The shoes they went to school with, they made.
That is a win.
That's great.
That is a big win.
Great.
That's a statement.
That's 4 feet. 4 shoes.
If you get the water bottles too, you got to play the lottery.
Gloves and urine.
Let's see what happens in another meeting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Paige, any shout outs?
I just, Sylvia's been in 6 schools in the last 2.5 years, and so far so good. So I just, I'm hearing good things. So I'm feeling positive about this one. So that's my shout out, is just to.
She's in 2nd grade?
Yeah.
You military?
No. Okay. So I'll popcorn it over to you. Liz, did you give one yet? Or did anyone?
No, I will say, so I'm my shout out is going to be to the kindergartens. Whoop, whoop, whoop. My 4th, Dylan. Dylan in kindergarten is learning to read, and it's been really fun to go through all the phonics and all of that good stuff. And I'm really, really happy because throughout all of my years, now we've gotten rid of the crap, sight, like you just look at a word and guess it. So now that there's like real reading happening. And real reading training, like the science of reading is happening. So it's been a real joy to see Dylan busting it out with some Bob books and kind of crushing kindergarten. I love it.
That's the easiest grade, really, but
it's tricky.
It's not even a grade. It's true.
It's a pre-grade.
It's the prequel to a grade.
It's not easy for everybody. Burt,
no.
It's not easy for everybody. And I think we need to be careful the language, the words that we speak, even amongst the adults. To say that something is really easy for everybody is just not true. So
you're right. I'm with you on that.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Anyway, Who's shouting out now?
Bert,
Well, I was gonna say now this is not for me. This is all for you all. But I walked down the hall to listen to our fifth graders preparing for their year-end transition program, and it is going to be something else. They are putting on a show for you, and they are working hard. They're working really, really, really hard. They've been putting hours in, and it's very exciting to see such dedication from this group, above all years that I've seen so far. So just an aside.
Sounds like it's not going to be very good from the kind of subtext in what you're
Like-
saying there.
It's
Like, do we go see that just like on reconnaissance, like in advance of our kid being a fifth grader?
Oh, you don't want
Is
to go.
it nice to go when you don't know anybody?
The whole
Kinda.
school will be
On
invited
stage?
to the program. Absolutely. So we do have lower school students coming to the fifth grade transition ceremony, mostly to prepare themselves, because there is a good amount of breathing exercises and gross motor activity within the performance that you can prepare for over the summer. So yeah, I don't think it would be a terrible idea.
Elliot.
It's so crowded. They get so crowded.
When my older son Elliot graduated, it was spectacular. He and the rest of Miss Norris's class created
wasn't in the smart class.
this enormous. It's hard to describe. It wasn't exactly a human pyramid because it wasn't pyramidical in shape. It was
Right.
It was and
Columnist.
yeah,
column-esque.
yeah, tremendous acrobatics that
A
all
human
the kids
rectangle?
did, in as a tribute to Pi. So it was
Oh, a cube would have been great. A pyramid
It
would have
was-
been awesome
yeah.
for that.
It was more of a spherical prism of sorts.
exactly. Thank you,
I
Ms.
guess
Mark.
I don't remember the math. That seems to fit though.
so just to let that be a nice little springboard, just because I want to honor everyone's time, to drive us forward, is that
I can stay. I'm happy to stay.
oh, I know. I mean, but we're all up against bedtimes, and so I know some of us haven't even eaten yet.
Sure.
or
If anyone
we're
wants to hang and talk afterwards, I can do that.
Is there a
and
siren?
Oh,
Is
yeah,
everyone okay?
that's me. That's me.
They go
I-
by. They go by.
And if anyone wants to stay and talk about the carnival, I know that that's something that Jill had responsibilities for, and I'm happy to.
Yeah,
to do
that'll
that.
be something. Just the two most pressing events. First is the Pie Day sale. Speaking of pie, the Pie Day sale will obviously be happening on Pie Day. Yes, which is always really, really fun, and all the kids get 3.14 pieces of pie, which is really cute and
That's
just
a lot of pie
That's a
for
lot of
kids.
pie.
well,
Okay,
I mean, it's
good. I think that's a lot of pie.
Yeah, I'm with Bert for once. That's like a ton of pie for children.
Also,
Once.
I don't know if anyone's noticed, I've been experimenting with being unmuted this whole time. It feels pretty good. I noticed other people were
I
doing
know, but
it,
I
so-
muted because you guys could hear the siren. So
Okay,
is
well,
it okay?
right.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
Well, I'll
I'm
say
not
that
gonna
the
mute 'cause I
slices are
never
very
know.
It's a lot of
small.
pie. They're
They're
tiny,
very like
tiny slices.
they're like
And I haven't been a part of Pie Day, so I'll.
It's the small slices, I guess.
yeah. We tried to. I just want to give you a sugar warning. They're
Yeah.
gonna come home like a little juiced up that day. Yeah. So Pie Day will be happening, and then the next thing is the book fair. The good
Were
old
those pies? Those were like Tres Leches cakes that went up there on Lori's screen.
There's no pie. There's no pie.
there's no pie emoji.
But
Oh.
there's a Tres Leches cake? Amazing.
True.
Well, it was just cake.
Well,
Hold
I am seeing the books go and fly, and that's exciting.
That was clearly
So we do have
Tres
the book fair,
Leches.
and I will be sharing. Actually, Lori, have you created that
There is
sign up
no pie.
genius?
Yeah, I thought I
Looks
did.
like Tres Leches.
People not Bert, if you can I take focus for 1 second?
Sure, go ahead.
I did. I thought I sent that out.
I haven't gotten the sign up genius. Has
Okay.
anybody else gotten the sign up genius for the book fair?
I don't look. I
Not
don't
yet,
read any of them.
no.
I don't open
Okay.
up any of them.
Let me check on that.
Okay.
I could have sworn I
Maybe
sent
we
it
could
out, but I will.
Anyone is in
I will
if
do that.
anyone has Jill's cell phone, would you can ask her if we have the sign up, and then just let her know to let me know.
Her phone or her number?
Her phone number. Yeah.
Her phone
Okay.
number.
I don't.
If
Jill
you have
wasn't
her
really
phone, that's
involved in this, so I'm probably not. I
weird.
don't know.
No.
Okay, maybe I'll
She did the
check.
code.
And then yeah, so Lori will do the set up the sign up sheets. We need volunteers, obviously, to help us. It's pretty self-explanatory. There are a couple rules that we're putting in place this year, and I hope I've realized now we should call you Dr. Murphy, not Miss Murphy anymore. But there's one of the rules that I think I would love to, and obviously if you have feedback, kids can only buy books that are on or above their grade level.
So yeah, that is a conversation I think we continue to have. We can continue to have that. I think that is a very challenging thing for probably most students to be able to experience and know while they're in the shopping experience. And part of the learning of a book fair is also being a good citizen in a shopping environment. So that could complicate things, but I can talk to our teaching team that is really focused in on that program, and we can get back to it in the next meeting if that's all right.
Yeah, because I can't take any more graphic novels coming home. I just can't. Like they have to get books. Like they have to actually get books.
Actually, so most graphic novels are within reading levels. So they are leveled. There are text blocks in most graphic novels for them to be able to read, and often those words are actually at higher levels than you would typically find in that grade level book because there's so few words in the book. So I will take this back to our teaching focus group on that, and we will definitely give you some thoughts on that in the future. I can't make an answer or a promise at this point, if that's all right.
Plenty of adults read graphic novels.
Watchmen graphic novels, very high end stuff.
There's a lot of very artistic, very, very thoughtful graphic novels.
I will say the book fair is one of the biggest events of the year, and anything to slow down the process of our book fair could really hurt the possibilities of learning. And actually, it brings so much money into our school. For every dollar spent, we get $50 50 cents back. That goes back into our libraries. So the more I would argue, the better.
Let them read whatever it is.
Could we then at least put a limit on the amount of like Pokemon erasers and space pens?
At my last school, they didn't even accept that with the packaging for the thing. So there were no posters, no erasers, no pencils, no stuffies. It was only books. The PTA took that and hid it and then just sent it back as a non-sale. So I offer that up as a suggestion.
There you go. So I think that's something that you all can do, because this is really all about you and the impact you can make here. So I love that suggestion, Paige. Your experience, your wisdom, the time that you've spent at these schools has really paid off. So thank you.
Thank you.
A lot of schools.
Okay. Again, want to honor your time. I know that we do need to address the carnival issue, but I guess we're going to have to get on it next month. Maybe Jill will be back.
The biggest fundraiser of the year.
Yeah, the carnival is the biggest fundraiser of the year. We definitely need that to happen. But yeah, let's fingers crossed that it's been great having you here, Richard, obviously. But yeah, we'll see you hopefully.
I left Jill's number in the chat.
I saw it. I'll give a call.
Oh, I missed that.
It's in there. You can go back, I think.
Oh, there
It's
it is.
917.
I don't know
if we could avoid personal information.
Thank you, Dr. Murphy. I feel really uncomfortable having, even though she is your wife, having any man share a woman's phone number publicly and then encouraging strangers to call that
I
number.
won't use it. I won't
Well,
call.
it's the biggest
Oh, I get
fundraiser
it.
of the year, and I think
It is.
that's
I won't
a
call them.
reason to reach
I won't
out.
even look it up. I respect you, Paige, and your
Thanks,
opinions.
Burt.
She
Thank
would be
you.
fine with, I mean, this is school business. There's got to be something that she's willing to talk about.
Yeah, and also maybe not. So
And especially just the random numbers
Yep.
showing up. I never answer those. Anybody here ever answer random numbers? No. So
I didn't like 3 times in a row, same number called. And then it turns out it was Ms. Murphy because Phineas had gotten his hand caught in the vending machine.
Yeah, and then threw up all over the cafeteria.
Hey,
Everybody was
like I've
laughing
gotten
at it.
5 of those texts about the tolls, like unpaid tolls. I've gotten
Scam.
5
No.
of those.
You can't.
oh yeah, that's a
Anybody?
scam.
Yeah.
That's
I know.
totally a scam.
It's a scam.
A total
Yeah, it's a
scam.
scam.
Yeah.
It's a
All
scam.
right. Well, I'm just in the interest of giving everyone their night back. Thank you all, and we will be back next month. And thank you, obviously, Dr. Murphy, for being here. And let's go, Stormtroopers.
I'm gonna stick around in case anyone wants to stick around.
All right, I'm going to end the meeting for all. Okay.
Okay.
If
Yes,
anyone
Stormtrooper.
stays in the
Okay.
room, I'll just be in the room.
That's a whiteboard.